cracking? What's going on, y'all? It's me, it's the OG. Well, my emoji Nitty, you already know I'm out here in the streets with my co-host from Team Nitty Radio. You know her as Trail, the new guy over there. But over here she goes by the name NUTRELLA. And you know this that show, man. It's called Sunday Dinner.
Where everyone eats.
That's right, we back on the block, man. First of all, I gotta get used to this because shout out to my guy Khalid. Came through with his AV skills, upgraded the computer, the laptop, the sound system. Now we on a 2-mic system. We crisp. But now that I'm hearing this playback, we got a little half a delay on it. I got to get used to it. I might got to go one ear on, one ear off.
I think I am too.
Because that's going to throw me off a little on my rhythm. But just so you know, this computer is now picking up crazy sounds, so y'all might hear different sound effects. That's my fist hitting. Y'all put your hands on your... Pour your drink right quick. They got to hear that.
Get ready to do
that. You got to hear that.
So yeah, when you're pouring...
Mm-hmm. Tell me that ain't that gin juice, boy. Oh yeah, we out here. Yeah, we took a week off. Mm-hmm. So you know it's been weird because actually we took a couple weeks because we pre-recorded the last time. We broke it into 2 episodes, so that we already had 2 episodes pre-recorded. So we really have been here. This is about 3 weeks.
This is our third week
this
right
now. This the 3rd week, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's weird. We got to get back into the swing of things. This ain't gonna be the longest episode. Might give you like an hour, so we got things to do. But look, you know we pack it all in. Of course, Bree with the stories. I'm kind of fresh. I won't say super fresh, but kind of fresh on a trip to South Beach, Miami, USA. Shout out to Miami Carnival. Experience like no other. My first time going to that carnival. I'm not new to carnival or Caribbean carnival, but that was something I've never experienced in my life. It's amazing. I feel like I got to go there every year.
I want to try it. I was looking at it. It looked like it was a lot of fun.
I feel like everybody should try it. So listen, first of all, get your energy up. Because you're going to be fetting all day, all night. The very first night.
I don't even know what that is.
Fetting is party.
Oh, okay.
Fet is French for party or something.
Oh, okay.
Celebration.
Okay.
So it's great because like, you know, usually when you fly somewhere, first night is kind of like a chill night because you're just getting there, you're just traveling or whatever. But nah, bro. We flew out there. Got to the, Ubered out to the telly because actually South Beach from the airport's like 40 minutes.
Because you must have flew in the Fort Lauderdale?
No, we flew in MIA.
Oh.
I guess between traffic and things.
Oh, okay.
It was like 25, 30 minutes or something.
Okay.
So then we get to the telly, put our stuff down, blah, 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 chicken it. Go hit the strip. Next thing you know, we already drinking because apparently happy hour is like 12 to 6 at most places in South Beach. I said, that must suck to be a regular person living in South Beach. You work from like 9 to 5 and happy hour is about to be over by the time.
Yeah, by the time you get...
Yeah, so it was that. And we had happy hour spot, boom, boom, we picked that. Hit another spot on the strip, boom, boom, it was out there. Then we had tickets to a party that was going on tonight, this club called Exchange. And we got there, cause that's a problem too sometimes when you on your like in Delaware shit or whatever. You used to parties under that one, so you get there 10, 11, whatever you get there. This particular party though, we didn't know what time we got to be at functions though, cause we like, we know blinds gonna be crazy this and that. I think we wanted to get at this place like after 11 before midnight, but it was like, there was no line tonight because we bought tickets in advance. So we was like, okay, must be light. We're gonna hang outside for a second. I had a little sick car and the drinks. I was doing that. Me and my best friend Keish. But then it sounded like the DJ had just started playing music inside. I was like, did the DJ just come on? I was like, it sounded like warm-up music. I was like, all right, whatever. We wanted to go in there. Yo, we left that party like 5 minutes to 4 in the morning.
Wow.
And it was still going hard.
So when y'all walked in, had the party started yet, or y'all were one of the first people?
We were early. I mean, it wasn't many people in there, but there were people in there first. So I guess you could say we were kind of some of the first. Because then, like, they even had like a little VIP area. The place started to get so packed, I think they didn't even worry about VIP anymore. Just let people in just to fill space. So it was crazy. People was going partying everywhere, and yeah. So because it was supposed to be performing before me, probably never came. I forget which one. But then like we left like just before 4. It was still going hard. So you figure, I left my crib that morning like 6 in the morning because my flight was at like 8. Kept going, no naps, no nothing like that. Then party till 41. Then went to this active spot to go eat. Got back to the telly like maybe 5 in the morning, yo. That was first night. And we was back up by like 8:30. Because we don't like to miss out on hotel breakfast.
That is true.
Even though the hotel
Where'd y'all stay?
Was trash. It was called Ocean Reef Suites.
Okay.
Now, what I didn't realize about Miami, they got a lot of what they call hotels, These are really motels
Yes,
and
they
hotels
are.
clothing. Because first of all, I was like, these places should not cost this much to stay here. I was thinking, you know, it was gonna have an ill telly joint, but yeah, I was like, these are motels. They
Yeah.
just call them suites or hotels and shit.
They definitely are. I think we lucked up when we went to Miami years ago. It was like me, Greed,
So crisp.
it is.
Oh, you heard that? So crisp.
And some other, and whatever hotel we was staying in, it was obviously not like, you know, one of your chain hotels, but we lucked up and it ended up being one of the nicer ones that
Okay.
really did look like a hotel.
Okay, no doubt. So they're doing a lot of construction down there though. Looks like they're building up new hotels. So I imagine they're gonna start pushing these hotels out or causing them to step their game up.
Right.
But yeah, we were down there, partying, drinking, everything was good. But hey, South Beach, I will say, first of all, Miami, you owe me nothing for that weekend. It was an amazing weekend. But I don't like the fact that y'all charge 20% mandatory gratuity on every place y'all go to. It was one place that didn't charge 20%, they charged 15%. But I was never a fan of telling me I have to tip anyway. Like, the tip's supposed to be something you earn. But neither here nor there. I want to know, honestly, I came out of I know when I was a kid it was 10%, then it was 15% when I was in the age to go out and start doing things. When did it jump to 20? I remember they were talking about it was creeping to 18 at one point, but when did 20 become the standard?
I don't know, but it is pretty much 20 at this time.
And then, you know, they put it in a little fine print on the menu that you get in mandatory. So a lot of times people don't even realize they're paying tip. Then they already put in a tip on top. So you might be getting 40% depending
I
on
don't do that. If you automatically get the 20% mandatory tip, then you've already made your tip.
Like I'm not
That's
tipping.
it.
So like my homegirls, they didn't realize it said that. And they had already tipped by the time I was like, y'all realize? And they was like, they didn't know. It's like, shit, we just tipped like 20%. So the server made it off, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah, but South Beach, you owe me nothing. I'm gonna tell you who does owe me something. Nick Cannon. And
Why?
he got a Wild 'N Out restaurant. I never knew about this, but you know.
I did saw you post that.
Yeah, it was like, all right, you know, my best friend's like, yo, we gotta support black business. I was like, bet, yeah, let's go.
Was that bad English just now?
What?
I said I did saw you.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Sunday dinner. Yeah.
Alright, go ahead.
So we out there, we gonna support. And don't get me wrong. I know South Beach, you know, again, prices inflate, you know, one of the places. But here's how I draw the comparison. Like, I went to Vegas one time, and I went to Chef Gordon Ramsay's restaurant.
I can't wait to do that one day.
And I had this burger. It was $18, right? But it was worth every bit of the $18. It was a duck breast burger. Duck breast bacon burger. So that already like caught me, like duck breast bacon. I didn't even know it was a thing, you know what I mean? And then, you know.
Well, you're paying $18 on a burger, but it's duck. So that's
Right.
kind of like.
Yeah, all of that, right?
Yeah.
And then you know how I feel about bacon and stuff anyway. Plus, those are things like too, you make them in such a way that it would just taste different probably from your average quote unquote burger anyway. Let's say even if the duck breast bacon wasn't on it. So let's take the duck breast bacon off. It's probably like a $14 burger, let's say, right?
Right.
I'm sure you get a lot of burgers for a lot cheaper, but whatever. You be like, this burger is that good. Nick Cannon was charging these prices for just regular shit. Like, you might rest around be paying, like, and I'm just using arbitrary prices that are not too far off, so don't quote me to it to the T. You might be paying like $20 for some chicken tenders, you know what I mean? But they're just chicken tenders. Like, they probably taste the same as if you went to a Waffle House or, I don't know, Friendly's or some shit. So,
That's not good. So they can't even taste like the chicken tenders if I went to Green Turtle.
right, like it's just any old chicken tender.
Like Green Turtle, to me, is at least a tiny bit better than like Friendly's.
And it's not to say it was nasty, but
Right.
for the inflated price, you expect them.
I don't want edible
Yeah,
for the
so-
inflated price.
So I had this, like, well, I ordered this. They had this fried chicken sandwich you can get. You can get a buffalo or just regular fried, but they put it between two donuts, like Krispy Kreme donuts. I didn't really want the donut. I said, but can I just get it fried on bread? Like, let's get it fried chicken. They brought it out the buffalo joint, whatever. But okay, I'll eat buffalo too, some whatever. But again, it was just regular. And I think it was like $18, $20 for a buffalo chicken.
Did anybody get the chicken in between the donut?
Not that I saw. It was a lot for me.
I don't know how I would feel about that.
And you know I'm risque with this kind of food thing. I think what messed me up, even beyond the obvious, you know, I guess people might talk about sweets and sugar or something. I feel like it wouldn't be a good eat. Like I can't see a donut holding like a bun would.
Yeah.
Now my dough is slippery or soggy or whatever, or breaking up easily.
Yeah, depending on how they drain the burger or not. Yeah.
So I need, because I need, like if I'm using bread, I need it to come off with the chicken at the same time. And right now the shit messy. So it was that. Now, they had these specials, so I guess they got these broader drinks. I guess some are like, I don't know if they're 28 ounces or what, but then they got others that are huge, like the huge margarita glasses, maybe those are 32, 40 ounces, I don't know. So it was happy hour, so the specials like 2 for 25 on the smaller joints, 2 for 40 on the bigger joints. The bigger joints, the regular price is like 32, so you basically going for like $8. So I was like, well, I'll just go 2 for 40 on the drink, you know, whatever. I had two different ones. I had like this Hennessy Mojito and some strawberry something like that. Hennessy Mojito was pretty decent. I'll give it that. Strawberry drink, you can have that. It was just like drinking like the stuff, the concentrate that I guess they make daiquiris with. I felt like I was just drinking that. I was like, this is way too sweet. If it didn't cost this much money, I would not be drinking it anymore, right? So
before you move on, have you had the ultimate margaritas at Dallas BBQs?
Once, but that was many years ago.
Oh, okay.
It definitely wasn't as good as that though.
Okay, that's what I was.
Yeah, it was way better. The Dallas BBQ superior. So I say all that to say, my one tab for myself was $80.
Woohoo!
For a chicken sandwich and 2 drinks.
For Friendly's food?
Yeah.
Nah.
And here was the thing. What made it 80, the mandatory gratuity of 20% and the fees, because they got like 2 different taxes they charge. It's like a sales tax and then some other tax. I don't know. It's called the tourist tax. But the fees themselves were like $20. So I guess under normal circumstances it would have been $60 meal, which again, it's South Beach, so I get that be, you know, I pay that much. Yo, it's like I paid that much for this.
So afterwards, did you give yourself a present or anything like that? Because you took yourself on an expensive date. Did you expect anything from yourself?
No, thank you. I wasn't asking anything of myself. I didn't hook up with myself. First of all, I got a goddamn roommate at the telly. You're so and then when I call you unsavory, you're gonna be like, what? Come on, son.
I'm just saying.
Wait, you really get the drinking out of you talking to.
You took yourself on an expensive
date.
I
did, but you know.
sound like that woman in the coffee shop that we talked about weeks ago, who got mad because the man wouldn't pay her bill.
Oh yeah, the little bakery. But you know, I'm a classy man, so I'm not unsavory. So I respect myself. I know my worth as a kid.
You know your worth.
And I want to let y'all take a break, let y'all know this segment is being brought to you by 1800, the ultimate margarita, ready to serve, raspberry flavor, 9.9% alcohol by volume, with 19.9 proof. It does not taste good, but we had it from the last podcast recording, and we're going to finish it because we don't waste alcohol. 1800, you could cut us a check because you really sponsor it, but I know you're going to be like, how you going to say that? But then we talk about your stuff. Hey, make better stuff. We keep it a bean for the people. That's what we're going to do. We're going to keep it a bean for the motherfucking people. But yeah, that's my story there. You got any stories from the last couple of weeks?
Yes. Oh my goodness gracious. First of all, tell them what we ate.
Oh, that's right. Also, I forgot. Sunday dinner. Of course we ate it. We had a sauteed boneless turkey breast paired with some cavatappi pasta. It was dirtied and drizzled with some fine seasonings, courtesy of the Caveman Kitchen. For those who don't know, that's my kitchen in my place here at Team NITTY Studios. And your take on the turkey meal?
Oh, it was good. I got seconds this time.
Let's go. That's how we do it out here. I was telling my people earlier, I was like, yo, I got a good feeling about this turkey breast that I seasoned, because I seasoned it last night. I was like, it's going to be marinating the whole day. It's going to come out.
Where'd you get the turkey breast from?
The grocery store.
Because every time I go to get something like that, it's normally pretty expensive. Just the turkey breast.
You know, spare no expense for Sunday dinner and your friends.
Okay.
You know. So now look, this is what I'm doing, you know, me and my friends here. Any ladies that I might get courting, I'm just saying, you might be here for a good time. Because I don't even expect nothing from my friends. I'm playing. I'm not saying you gotta give me nothing. I'm not saying you gotta give me nothing if I do something. Y'all not gonna say, hey, maybe I have to be that guy. I didn't even do it to myself.
You did. That's what I was going to say.
I'm a gentleman, a classic man. Thank you very kind. What story you got?
Let me tell you about my student.
Mm-hmm.
I had a student in my class, and this young man says to me, "Hey, teacher," or whatever. I'm like, "Yes, sir. How may I assist you?" He's like, "If I put my name on this assignment, will you give me 50%?
What?
I said, "I'm sorry, what?" He said, "I'm just gonna put my name on this paper, and when I turn it into you with my name on it, I get at least a 50% on this, right?" I was like, "Absolutely not." And he's like, "What do you mean?" Like, I turned it in with your name on it. You didn't even put the date on it, and you want me to give you 50%? You didn't do any work. And I'm like, "No, I'm not doing that. That doesn't even make sense to me. I can't compute." So then he's like, "Well, if I finish the assignment, you'll grade it and then go and backdate all of my other work that I did not turn in," because he hasn't turned in a thing since the school year started. "Will I go back and backdate everything to a date?" And I was like, "What? For you doing one assignment right now?" And he was like, "Yeah, I think that's fair." So I'm not doing that. So he then does this paper. Well, he didn't do it, he copied. And he tries to hand it to me like, "Look, I did my work." I said, "Sir, you didn't even bring a pencil or a pen with you in this building. So I know good and gosh darn well you didn't do this. So where'd you get the answers from?" And he was like, "My head, I know what I'm doing, I know what I'm doing." So I turned him to face me, and his back is facing the class. And I say to him, "I'm gonna ask you 2 questions off this paper. If you answer these 2 questions correctly, I will give you an A on this paper and backdate all your grades to a C." He said, "All right." So I asked him these questions, and obviously this kid does not know anything. So I said, "All right, thank you. You proved my point. Go have a seat." He then goes on to tell me that he does do his schoolwork. He just, after he does it, he throws it in the trash. And I'm like, "Well, that makes no sense either. Like, I don't understand why we're still having this conversation. I'm done."
Right.
So the class bell rings, he's exiting, he's talking to one of his friends in the hallway about the conversation we just had. Another teacher overhears this conversation and goes to another fellow teacher in the math department with me. This math teacher comes to me later and starts telling me how it's really a thing that there's a committee in our school of teachers who are trying to pass it so that if a child turns in anything, we give them 50%. No child can get a 0.
What?
That's what I said. And their logic is that zeros cause students to have low self-esteem.
And 50s don't?
It's not a 0.
Are they giving out participation trophies in academia?
A lot of them are. And
Isn't that still failing?
but technically, see, so this is how they also do it, because apparently Red Clay and Appoquinimink School District have adopted some form of this grading system. And the way it works is something like the first and the third marking period, the lowest grade a student can receive is 50%. Meaning that a child can waste the first marking period, waste the third marking period, do kind of decent on the fourth marking period, and bust his ass on the second marking period and pass.
Wow.
So you're not learning anything.
Right.
To me, I seem like it's just a form of grade boosting, maybe trying to make your schools look better than what they really are. And I'm thinking, how does this help the students in the long run?
Right.
You're teaching mediocrity. What are you going to do when you get a job? Lastly, if this passes, then I feel like on my evaluations that I get, I should never get anything less than meets the standard.
Right.
Because at least I showed up to work. I didn't do anything else but show up to work. And to me, because then it would hurt my self-esteem if I got anything lower.
Yeah.
But if I was to say that, they would say I'm being ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what you're teaching. What do you think these kids are going to grow up and do when they get in the work world? You hire somebody and he says to you, "Oh, I'm only staying here till lunch. But when I'm out, I expect you to still pay me 75% of my check."
Right.
It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yo, you know, I hate people. I think that's sometimes, I feel like that's all I'm left with, is that I hate people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who do you even, where does this even start? Do we start up with the school administration? Do we start with the parents? Because I feel like I could never even instill that kind of lack of ambition in my child.
Right.
To say, I'm good with 50. I can live with that. I come from an era where, let's say if I got an 85 out of 100, I'm like, okay, that's cool. I'm good with that. You know, whatever. I said the test is already done. Could have been better. It's never gonna be worse. We go home. My parents like, hold up, what?
Yeah.
What happened to the other 15 points? Or my father said something. Or my father, he used to try compare stuff to like back when they were in school. I said, God, like that's a B. So, you know, I guess B plus, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He'd be like, boy, that's C when I was in school. That's C. You gave me a C? I said, no, it's a B. No, when I was in school, that's a C. I wanted to tell him, well, you're not. But,
Yeah.
But I'm saying, they say they're still pushing you.
Right.
I remember one of my friends, he got like a 94 on the test. And the parents said, what happened to the other 6 points? We was like, damn, you got it real bad. You know, now my parents was going to give me props on the 94, and I ain't going to hold you. So, I can't even, even at now, at 39, I can't fathom to make my brain say, well, I mean, if a 50, I guess I can make a 50 cool somehow in my head. So imagine back then, what?
Yeah.
I think I would have felt like a failure if that was my thought.
So I'm saying, so basically you're telling me that because you could spell your name, and hopefully you spell it correctly.
Hopefully, sadness.
That you deserve 50%.
And again, yeah, that's why I say it was unimpressed, because the audacity of that alone, that you would go to a teacher and request that. Forget the fact that you shouldn't even be proud of a 50 or whatever you're feeling you get from a 50 that clearly is not bad to you. That you would go to a teacher and say, yeah, I'll need these credits for writing my name.
Yeah.
Not forgetting any answer right. Not even if you said, if I get half the questions right, can I get it? Nah, just to put my name, I deserve credit. That's the type of motherfucker that if he had kids, he don't want credit for taking care of his kids.
Yes. Yep.
Matter of fact, he don't want accolades, not just credit. But that's right. Yeah, I changed the packet today, bitch. What? I need to go. It's time to take me to the bar.
So, also in this same school day, I had him over lunch period. Mm-hmm. So this particular day, they had first lunch. So that means that they go to lunch first and then come to class.
Okay.
So 5 minutes after lunch has started, I'm standing in the hallway, and he comes walking down the hallway, and he calls my name, and he was like, "We got first lunch?" I was like, "Yeah." He said, "You mean to tell me I'm late for lunch?" I was like, "Wait a minute, so you thought you had class right now?" He said, "Yeah, but you were okay with being late right now to class?"
Jesus and John.
And you're visibly upset because you're late to lunch? And then you're telling me I'm your current teacher about this. I was just like, I can't.
Is he at least fat? Please tell me.
No.
He ain't got nerve to be, the decency to be fat.
No.
You know what? All right, I'm going to say this. Now, I'm not giving this boy no odds, first of all, because there's a lot of problems. I know we have situations where sometimes they say the meals in school is the only meals these kids are getting.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's the case here. Maybe that's why lunch meant so much. He might not be going home to a meal. Because if this is the same kid that's coming in here talking about something, I want my 50 for my name, I gotta believe this is coming from home somewhere. And if I'm no expert. My speculation has to be the home stuff. Home front ain't steady. It ain't proper, and this kid is suffering. And it's not only does he have to be suffering from undernutrition or malnutrition, they are pumping foolishness into this boy's brain. Matter of fact, they're pumping nothing. I think if they were pumping foolishness, that would display some effort, some correctable effort. They're pumping nothing and letting him get his foolishness from somewhere else. And then his parents have to be sitting up there saying, that's just the school's job, and they got to handle that. Like, between the hours of 8 and 3 or 9, whatever, 3, that's on them, and I'm taking no responsibility. And when he come home, he would need to know his own work. As a teacher, if they doing their job, he should know the work.
Right.
He shouldn't have them. It's poor parenting. Piss poor parenting. Poor child is lost.
That's his reason.
Still ain't shit, but poor child is lost. But his parents really ain't shit. He's the product of ain't shitness.
Yeah.
That's what I have to believe. I can't believe you. I know anything's possible. I can't sit here and believe in 2019 that parents are putting forth, or whoever his guardians are, grandmother, are putting forth the, for lack of a better term, required effort to push this child, and this is what you're getting out. Don't get me wrong. I know you can do everything you can for a child, and they can still turn out to be a bad apple or a friend or what. But I had to believe, they're part of the problem. And the school's not helping them by implementing these kind of policies. And that has to be frustrating for teachers. At least the ones who give a shit.
It is. I actually did have a parent conference with this young man's mother. And I told him that exact day. I was like, well, you know I have a conference with your mom. And he was like, yeah, I'm just going to block her. So just as we leave school.
What do you mean you're going to block her?
On his phone.
What the fuck? Yo, what world is this?
That's what he told me. He was like, you can call her. I'm just going to block the number. So.
Who pays the bill?
What? I'm assuming the
You know
mother.
what? I ain't gonna get upset on this good Sunday dinner podcast. We're recording on a nice sunny Friday. It's been very windy this week. You know, it's not windy today. Nice, crisp autumn afternoon, evening. We're sipping drinks with fellowship and we had good food. I'm not gonna let this kid upset me. That's some bullshit.
That's what he told me.
The fraganaggle.
That's what he told me. And I said, because I even said, what do you mean you're going to block your mother? He was like, I'm going to take my phone out. I'm going to go to her name. I'm going to push the little button next to her name. And I'm going to hit block.
How old is this kid?
10th grade.
So he's like 15.
Yeah, 15, 16.
Wow.
That's what he told me.
That's my... I'm not trying to talk about blocking me. Let me try to come home. Oh yeah, I blocked you too.
Yeah.
Lock change. Checkmate. Figure it out. Let me see how you handle
Let me see how
that.
you do that. So, and then, okay, so this is another one, then we can move on. So, in another class, I had another student, and this young man says to me, teacher, I'm like, yes, sir, how can I assist you? He says, I've been thinking. I'm like, oh, do I want to walk down this road?
Right.
And he's like, no, I just want to tell you what I've been thinking. And I'm like, okay. Now later I found out that this is a TikTok, but at the time I didn't know. And he really hurt my brain. So he says to me, you know how mosquitoes suck your blood? And I said, okay. And he says, so when they suck your blood, they're essentially getting your DNA, right? And I'm like, I don't know, but okay. So when they go and they reproduce with each other, does that now mean that I have mosquito babies out in this world?
It's another 10th grader?
Yes. That's what he said to me. My response to him was, I think you should come get your phone from back here behind my desk and text your mom and let her know right now that she's a grandmother. And just let me know how that conversation goes after you talk. That was my response.
I'm gonna tell you how sad the situation is, in my opinion. Given what you just told me about the first boy, I'm really sitting here like, at least he tried to give some scientific thought to the reproductive process, the DNA process of the mosquitoes between sucking human DNA and making kids. That's how sad this is. The other boy was so horrible.
That you're giving
I'm like, this kid gets some credit for actually at least trying to think out the box, but still kept it within a scientific, a genetic realm. I mean, I would have been happy if he were like 8 and had this thought, because that means, okay, you, all right, you might be a scientist. 15, it's sad, but you're not that guy. You're not giving me 50% for my name.
You're not. But yeah, I mean, I later did say to him, so if for whatever reason I drink pig blood and then I go home and get pregnant, is my child now part pig? And he was like, it doesn't work that way. It only works on things that suck on you or suck or feed, feed off your blood. Whatever. So I was like a vampire. Then I was like, yeah, I'm being ridiculous. I'm done with this conversation. I'm just done.
Yeah.
But that was my week in
So
my workplace.
Remember the credit I just gave that kid?
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to take it back because of that last thing. Now they're all in the same stupid boat. I didn't want to call you kids. I was trying my best not to call you kids stupid. And I don't want to do that to the kids. And then, a part of me feel like I knows the hue of these children. And
I don't know. What do you think?
Because don't you teach like mostly one hue?
No.
Oh. Hold up now. Is there a plot twist in here? I thought you was just teaching our inner city youth. Hold up. These are nicer children?
One is the nicer.
Don't tell me Mosquito Boy is the nicer.
Mosquito Boy is not the nicer.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna give Mosquito Boy his credit back. I'm gonna give Mosquito Boy back his credit. The nicer boy, yeah, 50% boy. Oh, so that was just privilege talking.
I guess.
Now he was the one that said he would block his mom?
Yes.
It's starting to make a whole lot of sense now.
Yes, he's the one who...
He wanted to block his mom so he wouldn't have to tell her shut the fuck up.
Probably. That's probably what it was.
He did it for her benefit. Okay, Ashton. I see you. Fuck out of here. Yo.
No, okay, I'm trying not to give too much of the story, but I told y'all I talked to the kid's mom.
Mm-hmm.
But when the mom's response to me is, my son is such a wannabe, I didn't know how to respond to that.
Mr. Colonizer mom?
Yes.
A wannabe black kid?
I didn't ask because I didn't want her to.
What did she say in reference to?
She said, well, she was just saying, she was like, my son, he's failing everything. I don't know what to do with him. He's just a wannabe.
Oh, I see why you wouldn't want to. Okay. So what? He's a failure, so that means he wants to. All right. We see what he's trying to go.
So.
That kind of took me to a story about one time that my one homegirl was at her crib.
Mm-hmm.
And visited her crib like the first time she was out of Middletown.
Mm-hmm.
And she was nice. And this sounded so crisp when I picked up your phone call.
You hear it?
I hear it. I hear the hello.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
okay.
You gotta come off of that.
Yeah. Text me.
That
Text
just
me
happened.
because I'm on the podcast right now.
Was that your oldest? Or is that your oldest?
I know. This is my order.
I clearly
Can you
heard it.
park and then
Yeah.
find a spot?
Tell them to record.
We're recording.
Why is she
Text
doing
me.
this? She's too old for this. Tell me about your story.
Yes.
I want you to go too deep. My homegirl, she was nice. Went down to her crib the first time I was visiting. And like her little sister, a couple little sisters and stuff there, It was like being down in like, I don't know, what do you call it, Main Street, USA, or whatever town you would say. And, I guess the sister was, her sister was in like high school or something. conversation. And I guess they were talking about somehow schoolwork or how he was getting, accolades from the teachers, this and that. And somehow his enunciation came up. And I guess how good it was, right? Already, it's start sounding these comments because, we hate when people trying to act like it's something out the ordinary when black people had proper diction and grammar and stuff. And the little sister went on to say, yeah, it's like he thinks he's right or something.
I hate those statements.
Mind you, I was standing there on my big blackness. And I heard this loud and clear, so I looked at my homegirl. I've been to this person's house many years ago. I looked at her. She kind of said, I think, cut a little chuckle, or she chuckled. I just stood there, right? And then, the sister then walked away or whatever. She said something, y'all look good. She said something, the first thing came out of my mouth to her. I said, get me out of this racist house. Told her that straight up. Get me out of this racist house. So what? What are you about? I said, you just sit there, you heard what she just said? I said, what that's supposed to be? Going on. She couldn't understand it.
She didn't understand why you felt as though the house was racist?
Yeah. She couldn't understand what my problem was. And then when I broke it down, she's like, well, she's just young. I mean, that's not what she meant. She's just, nah. I should have told her that shit.
Yeah, somebody should have said something.
If that's the case, she didn't just wake up one morning to come up with that concept.
Yeah.
You earned that.
And then even, I'm not condoning it in any way whatsoever, but to say in front of company.
Right. And that's, because people gonna say what they gonna say, nigga. I'm sure I've been a nigger in somebody's white household and they come, even if it wasn't from the person I know, their family, they share the jokes. Hey, if it don't get out to me, I don't know what happened, I don't know what hurt me, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but to say it right in front of a motherfucker. Yeah. That means you really, And that gotta be nipped in the bud. That gotta be nipped in the bud. That ain't cool. At all. And she was actually afraid that's to give me that space. So much so to the point, because she know one of my mans. He came and told me, and he's like, yo, such and such told me what happened to Craig. And he was like, yo, she said to me, and he got a man, and he had the nerve to say to me, get me out of this racist house. He said, it took me everything in me not to bust out laughing that you said that, bro. I was like, yo, and I was dead ass. Wow. Couldn't believe that. But moving on from that, that was white people, and we slipped and fell into white people. That wasn't even playing. I got a question though. It's based on I can't find the graphic anymore, but basically it's about your intent, setting the record straight on your intentions and making a date with somebody, right? Okay. It says something along the lines of, if you're just trying to fuck, just let me know. Or if you're trying to date, just let me know. If you're trying to be rich, regardless, whatever your intentions are, just be honest about it. It'll save you problems down the line, right? And I'm reading it, and I shared it, and I said, yeah, sound advice. Sounds good on paper. But I said, as for that line about it'll always keep you from problems down the line, that ain't all. I feel like that ain't always the case. Because I feel like I've been in a situation where I've let my intentions be known. And, or whatever it is. Or at least I let you know what I ain't fitting to do. And we'll be like, okay. They get on board. Because that's my thing. You be out eyes in front, and they decide it's not for them, at least you save yourself some trouble. But then like, all right, I'm good with that situation already. And this can happen for men too, but I'm just talking from my perspective. Next thing I know, you somehow sent the fella to a what are we, or what's going on. Like, we all what the fuck I said we were at the beginning. Like, what's the fuck you mean? Was there a change in the addendum? I don't know. Like, and then all of a sudden it becomes a problem. But I'm like, so somebody catch feelings along the line, I guess this and that and the other. So I'm sitting there, I guess my question is, and this is not me asking if honesty is best policy, none of that stuff. But I'm gonna ask you your opinion. Is that foolproof? You just put it out there front and shit should just be Gucci down the line?
Well, I feel like there's some caveats to that. Do I think that you should just put it out there and, let me decide what I want to do, give me that option? I do. But I guess my question is, when you put it out there and when she accepts that, when you guys are doing the thing that y'all said y'all were gonna do, a lot of times guys like to talk. So while you in it, you saying stuff like, tell me this is mine, oh, I wanna be with you all the time. So if you're making those statements, then you might be starting to murky the water, to start the spark for that fire.
Well, I get that. I think I'll speak from a sense of if you remain consistent or whatever you set your intentions at the beginning.
Well, I'm saying, even with that, you still are only in this for that,
Right.
but you're making those statements in the moment. And that's what I'm saying. You need to, for whatever reason, guys like to talk, they like to hear certain things.
Yeah.
And when you're requesting for things like that to be said, it's a spark that could happen. So I think that's where you gotta watch what you're saying and make sure that what you're saying, if she's with it, then make it only be that.
Right.
And that's it.
Okay. Yeah. And that's why I say I feel like that statement, they try to make it too black and white, because humans are just not black and white at the end of the day. Like, so, I've seen experience or heard situations where, like, you come into it and say this is what it's gonna be. Like my homegirl, I was talking to her recently, and she said, like, it's happened to her all too many times where, like, a dude would tell her, okay, well, this is just where I'm at. You're just kind of hooking up or whatever. I'm gonna just be free, but we're not together. And then they'll find out, I guess maybe communication was she went on a date with somebody or something, and all of a sudden they catch your feelings and they mad about that. And I told them, I'm not saying that to him. I know that happens. It's, a lot of that is ego or pride or whatever.
Or you want to do what you want to do, but you don't want her to do it back.
Right. So the people ain't honest with themselves. And so I put that because people are like, yeah, that's 100. This statement is a fact. I'm like, nah. Maybe in theory it's 100, but this ain't real life applicable. And all too often, I feel like, and I don't have any empirical data to back this up, but I feel like all too often those situationships, if you will, always wind up in someone catching feelings or changing the dynamic more so than not, than the two people staying consistent with what they said was gonna be.
Right.
And boom.
Well, I feel like if you wanted to stay consistent like that, then both of you people really need to be actively dating or doing something with someone else.
Your mind gotta be occupied elsewhere.
Right. You can't just say, oh, I'm only with you, but this is still only about us just sexing.
And people also, I think the problem is too, people never take time to self-reflect.
Yeah.
Self-assess, because I ain't gonna lie. I mean, in my young boy days, I might have been one of the dudes like, I would like to, do my thing, but I don't want her doing her thing, if I'm dealing with her or whatever. And that was foolishness, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I said, whether it's ego or pride or whatever it is, or a combination of the two, that's the thing. You get older, you start to realize, all right, well, this was what I set my intentions were. Or even if I want things to change or whatever, I need to then reset the intention and say, well, this is how I'm feeling now. Do something about it.
Right.
So either especially, in many cases I've seen where the woman or the other person, they just might be up for taking it to that next level, but they wait on you to pull the trigger because you said, so then,
because of what you said in the beginning.
Yeah. So then it's like either you do something about it or don't be mad when she does.
Right.
And that's the thing. And again, that takes some self-reflection and that takes some swallowing of the pride. Right? Because because it's not to say you won't catch feelings. Like, I've been around women who I was like, I like them, I got feelings for them, whatever. But I knew I wasn't in a space where I wanted to be, let's say, wiped up or taken to the next level.
Right.
So even if I, let's say, felt the way if I saw her with another man or, I still just play my part and keep quiet because, hey, I had my opportunity to do something about that. So you go ahead and live your life and I'm going to just deal how I deal.
And again, I'm not saying that your mind has to be occupied with you sexing someone else either. You could still only be having sex with that person, but you need to be like I said, occupying your mind with someone else.
You'd be very hard pressed to give someone your all and still just be good with whatever you got.
Yeah.
Because you put all your eggs in the basket, like shit's gonna start to surface.
Yeah.
Diversify your bonds. That's what they say, right? You know, that's why they said don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Right.
So, yeah,
but I know someone. As a matter of fact, it's funny. We had this conversation yesterday, and he was telling me how him and his girlfriend, they evolved through 3 different phases. So they went through a phase when they first got together, when the girlfriend was in an open relationship while with him and he wasn't. Then they both went to an open relationship, and now it's just him that's in the open relationship. And I was like,
she doesn't want to be in an open relationship?
yes, not anymore.
He knows that? I mean,
yeah,
like...
But he said from his side, he's still...
But he's not doing it behind her back. She just knows this.
Well, he said they don't inform each other.
Okay.
But it's kind of like, it is what it is.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. So, I guess it's still done. It is still put out there. He did admit that, you know, while he is still open, he doesn't want her to be, because he said it's not something that's going to last for forever.
Selfish.
But, yeah, it is. He said it's not something that's going to last for forever, but that's what it is right now.
Yeah, okay. Well, let her rock out till your thing stop lasting then.
That's what I said.
I feel like that's bullshit. That's selfish.
That's what I did tell him that. But he was like, well, it works for us. And I said, well, if it works for y'all, I gotta let it work for y'all. But I was just saying, yes, that is very selfish for you to say and do that. And the thing that's crazy is, it's backwards, because he said he does not use protection all the time with the extras, but he uses protection all the time with her to make sure that he doesn't give her anything.
A lot of men have that mentality.
But isn't that backwards? Like, if I'm with you and, you know, whether we decide to be open or not, shouldn't you be protecting yourself from the others and being okay with me?
I see what you're saying, yeah. But man logic, I don't know. I think in men's minds it's like they're not even thinking about themselves per se. Like alright. Man, I think they obviously often feel like they'll just be good. And, you know, they want to protect her, right? And don't chop me up. I'm just giving, you know, the answer here, y'all. But what happens, let's say if something did happen to them, at least they know they caused it on themselves. They don't want to cause it on this woman that I guess they love or they hold higher than these other women. So, yeah. If that makes sense.
I mean, I guess, but to me, I'm just like, it's just weird. Like,
I mean, yes.
Yeah.
A lot of shit is weird. Speaking of weird shit, the situation like this that we just talked about, another situation, just the changing of the times, because we know sexually, relationship-wise, whatever you call it, there's been a big shift in a lot of things.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's gender roles, sexual roles, who does what, the ABC, everything. Is poly something that should be given more consideration at this point in life now? I'm not necessarily saying you might want to do poly this and that, but you know that there was a time where, I mean, it still kind of is, but there was a time where that was like super taboo.
Yeah, that was totally taboo.
Like, get the fuck out of here. Now, over time, you start seeing like little TV shows and stuff about poly relationships. I mean, poly's not nothing new. It's been a practice around the globe for a long time. It's practiced in many cultures. You know, American culture, Western culture has been taboo on a lot of stuff and conservative in many respects. We know that. But nowadays, especially, you know, people always assuming everybody cheating or every man cheating or this and that and the other anyway. And women are taking more of this, or taking on more of this like a liberated role, whether sexually or what have you. Is poly something that should be given more of a look, more attention to?
I kind of do agree with that, and it's crazy to say, even as a married woman, one of the things that I've learned through my time of being married is not to judge anyone's relationship. Whatever works for them is what works for them. And there were things that I can remember growing up and saying that I would never accept, I would never do. And then you find yourself accepting certain things that you thought you never would because of, I guess, the Western thinking and moral level that is instilled in us at a young age. That as you get older, you just start to realize, you know, that some shit ain't that deep. And if it works for y'all, it works for y'all. It's not for me to judge.
Right. And I'm with that too, because like you, and I think a lot of it was kind of pushed on us, if you will.
Yeah.
But church, like, no, a man and a woman. And I'm talking about, like, and they would say a man and a woman specifically, because of course, homosexual relationships were like super taboo back then too, right? So a man and a woman, that's it. No cheating, no adultery, blah, 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 blah. Go on, no, you conservative. Matter of fact, don't dress this way, don't do that way, you act this way, you act that way. Manners, this and that, all kinds of stuff. Ladies shouldn't do this while a man could do that, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And then, you know, of course, you know, I was always like, always would only be with that pour is so great, right?
I know, but should I
just throw that up in this cup, right? You're just finishing off the nasty margarita raspberry.
I don't think
it wasn't as terrible this week. I was about to say, it wasn't as terrible this week. Maybe it's because we were drinking that fine ass whiskey.
Maker's Mash.
Crown Maker's Mash? Okay.
Maker's Blend, something like that.
Speaking of Maker's Alley is officially open on Shipley Street in Wilmington, Delaware. It's really Orange Street. The Bear Garden is officially open. It opened
I saw that.
Yeah. It was so funny.
It looks nice.
And I saw you, people like they were looking for Maker's Alley, and I was like, that's right there. Like, oh, yeah, look at the sign. But yeah, the other time I was like, yes, always knocking this man, woman, this and that, blah, 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 right? And that's not to me saying like, yeah, I'm gonna get nothing poly, this and that. But like kind of like you said, I don't look at it crazy anymore. When I see other people on poly, amorous or whatever the term is, relationships, this and that and the other, or I don't look at people in open relationships crazy. You know, if that works for y'all, especially we've seen so many monogamous relationships that end up in adultery or cheating or divorce and the things that the other people just unhappy people. But meanwhile, people in these quote unquote frowned upon relationship setups are happy. Liberated and free and living their best lives.
While you sitting over here all stuffy and probably honestly just straight up jealous about what it is that they're doing.
Over there bitter.
Yeah.
So I look at that and you know, you meet people like I actually know. I know one chick, maybe one of them. I know one chick cool. She's kind of into the poly thing, and you know, the other time I might be like, yo, you wow, man. Like you know, or I might even be like, yo, like what kind of fast foolishness is happening here? But now I'm like, you know, more power to you. And I'm like, fellas, I made a joke, kind of a joke, on Facebook not long ago. I think I said something to the effect of like, I mess around. Oh, because my one homegirl, I remember it came up, my one homegirl, she was like, dude, I see why you're single. You know, you mad cool, or you know, like mad beautiful women, this and that and the other, right? You always with them and this and that and the other. It was like, ain't no woman gonna want to deal with that. Like, right? So I had made that comment. I was like, because the memory came up from like a year ago. And I was like, damn, it's crazy because a year later, here I am still single, like with nobody, right?
But
I mean, I'm not saying that's the reason why. That's why I said it was partly a joke. But who's to say that it's not contributing to it? Because I say that to say, the reason I say that, because I have come across women who we don't even like be on nothing or anything. But they'll start pointing out, they won't like when I'm in the pictures with other women, or especially if I use the Pretty Girls Rock hashtag, it's like, oh, word. And I'm like, damn, I know it's that deep. And now this issue. You know, there was one girl, she talked for a quick second, and she, first of all, some of these women just take on detective roles. Because we were very early, right? And it's funny we should be talking about this the day before the 19th. So I guess maybe let's say 2 years ago around this time, you know, it was somebody's special birthday, and I was like, I said it's a real one's birthday, you know. I ain't even saying that major. Put up a little pic collage, said it's a real one's birthday. Of course, my regular trolls are gonna give me heat for it because they always want us to be together, this and that, the other. And then it's up to them. Then this one particular lady friend I had at the time, she was like, I just knew I felt like she was something, she had an attitude or something. We was talking. This one, I was like, you okay? She said, I'm good. You talking? Like, I ain't talking. And I was like, nah, be honest now. It was something. She took exception to the picture. And I was like, what? And she had that picture. She's like, yeah, you talking about it's a real one's birthday, and you had a whole collage. Like, that's an effort. So I feel like, and then I guess she was like, I guess that was your ex or whatever. I was like, yeah, but I mean, we cool. Like, you know, she's like, nah, and then, you know, she's like, I'm just saying, I don't know. It just felt like maybe you still carry the torch. Because I was like, yo, I just put I literally only put it's a real one's birthday. And it don't take much to put a pic collage up.
So I'm guessing the pic collage, was it pictures of just the ex or you and the ex?
Her.
Oh, just her by herself?
I wasn't in them joints. I wasn't in them joints.
So it was just pictures
I
of her?
purposely didn't even put myself in the joints because I don't want my usual trolls to be on their stuff.
Okay.
It was her. So, yeah, you know. And she's also giving me heat for, like, my Pretty Girls Rock pictures that I put up. You know, if I'm in a picture with a chick, I think she's pretty.
But y'all not,
and we weren't.
y'all not together, right?
No.
So why can't you say people are pretty?
We barely dated.
Barely dating.
Yeah.
So why can't you say people are pretty?
I guess it's a thing, because I caught heat for that recently. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Yeah.
So if you ever got to the point where you were, I guess, about to propose to somebody or whatever, right, and it wasn't your ex, and your upcoming fiance says, no, I have a problem with the comments and the things that you say about your ex, are you?
I'll stop you.
Okay.
I'll let it go. Oh, honestly, people-wise, women-wise, only person I probably wouldn't compromise on, well, let me phrase this properly, because I'll say it's kind of two people. To an extent, I won't compromise on my child's mother. Meaning, we'll always respect whatever relationship I'm in, but don't try to tell me stuff like I can't have contact with her or stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, we'll always be bound by a child, and we're family.
Right.
Point blank, because I've caught heat about that too.
About calling her family?
No, like spending, like, I have family time with, like, I have what I consider family time. Like, it don't always just have to be we hang with our daughter separately. Sometimes, like, hey, let's go to this pumpkin patch, or let's do some family related thing. Especially, you know, and maybe it'll change if I'm in a situation, but as a man who's not in a relationship now,
you can do what you want.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that it wouldn't change to the extent of y'all still do it,
right,
but you would have just included.
Right, it'd be something like that.
Right.
But I still always want my child to know that even if we're not together, me and her mother are together for her. We'll always be a family. And I caught heat like, oh, word, because you must still be doing something with it, you know, or you could, why is, and I'm like, because that's my family. People say, well, that's not your daughter's family. No, they're both my family. Where you think my daughter came from? Like, no, we bound. Yeah, but I say that's why I say to an extent.
Right.
Because I can see where you wouldn't want me to say, always hanging with my child's mother, you know.
Right. But there's times when you can, y'all don't.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Do that on a regular.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So
yeah,
that's why I say I won't compromise to an extent, because you're not just gonna tell me I can't at all.
Right.
But I would get it if you were like, all right, it's kind of excessive. All right. But like you said, we're not excessive. Where I won't compromise is my best friend. Okay. You gotta know that. Because first of all, me and my best friend, we already know. First of all, we already automatically have this thing about if somebody gets somebody, we respect that respective relationship or whatever. Like, you know, we wouldn't hang. I mean, we don't hang as much as we like to anyway, because we're in two different states.
Right.
But, you know, we still go out to make sure we hang with us and together. But also, we're so respective. We respect these other levels so much. Let's say she did come down and visit or whatever, and we link up. that doesn't mean, like you said, that my significant other couldn't be involved in
Right.
or whatever. We just said we sure you can keep up because we stay up all night, we go hard, y'all be trying to go to sleep in the
Right.
stuff like that. Or, you know, don't you give me no heat if you see us in the pictures, this and that, the other, because at the end of the day, me and her, as far as I'm concerned, it would be like me and my guy Major, like in terms of the level of platonicness or whatever.
Right.
But we do have a chemistry that we just mesh so well. We get on people's nerves.
My thing with that is it's also all about the introduction.
Yeah.
So if she has always been there from the beginning,
Right.
then I would side eye you if you start to make that change without any merit or
Right.
reason
Exactly.
or anything like that. Just because now you just feel like I don't want to do. But she's always been here. She was introduced to you
Right.
as this, and that has not changed.
Yeah. And that's one of those things. I will put that up front. Make sure she's in. Like, if I start liking a chicken, it's almost like, you know, I say, you want to bring somebody to meet your parents. I feel like my best friend is like that too. Like, I would probably bring in my best friend before my parents. My parents don't really give a shit.
Right. Right.
My mother's very indifferent. My father's like, hey, okay, whatever, you're grown. Now you come meet her, and let's see what happens. But just know that this is what's going on right here.
Right.
And I'll tell you, if you can't handle that, then we probably won't gonna make it anyway. So, but other than that, yeah, I'm always gonna be willing to compromise and negotiate on things with somebody I'm really trying to be with because it's only right. Yeah. So we gotta wrap this up. It's like, yeah, it's a shorter one, y'all.
It was.
Yeah.
Like I feel like we're not done. Like
Right.
I feel like we just pre-came.
Man, oh shit. I was literally about to say we're gonna title this one Unfinished Business, but now I'm gonna title it We Just Pre-Came.
I do. That's what I feel like.
And what's gonna be crazy about this title is people gonna think it's gonna be a raunchy ass episode.
Yes.
And it was the total opposite. So now we owe y'all a raunchy episode on the next episode. Take that one to the bank, y'all.
Yeah, we gotta have a good guest for that one.
Oh yeah, we could figure that out. We can
Yeah.
plan for that one. Cause there's people trying to be on Sunday. Matter of fact, I might have to reach out to the unsavories.
And we got this mic set up now.
Oh my God.
Yo.
I guess I'm gonna have to buy adapters and all these other things so that way when Khalifa's not around,
You might be able to find it.
Okay, well we can find that before next week. But yeah, this is, again, this was a schedule with changes where we recorded earlier than usual. We got to record later. So I didn't even think of my positive note or nothing, but I know you guys got something on deck. I don't know my positive note. Yeah, we didn't even think about all that.
We didn't. Positive note. I guess keep your head to the sky, baby bonus. Woo!
And hey, I just want to say to y'all, mosquitoes can't have your babies. They suck your fucking blood and go fuck another mosquito. Don't strive for 50s, whether it's for putting your name or getting half the shit right. You gotta strive for more than that. And a wise man once said, well, a dumb man once asked, what's the difference between a 4.0 and a 4.6? And a wise man once said, about 30, 40 grand cocksucker beat it. And I know. And I think about people know my record line, whether we feed your mind, your funny bone, or your something to do, just so long. We're just happy to be feeding you. Because around here at Sunday dinner,
everyone eats.
and we out. Cool.
That was a little cute episode. People probably won't be like, what are they talking about?
Oh, yeah. I wonder how we stop all that from happening once we start recording.
What?
You don't hear that sound? Oh, I hear it. Like echo.
Oh, yeah. It's probably because the mics are still on. You probably gotta turn the mics off.
Oh, the only way to turn them on is to unplug them, but I used to always have them plugged in before.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just stopped when I.
Can you mute them?
I guess, because the
checked the traffic, that's why I was like, oh, I gotta go.
So, Kyle, you didn't know you went to that party? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What the fuck I was saying that?
Yeah, I was like, he didn't know I went out to AC party.
Where did you think you were?
A step practice. But I really did go to step practice. Just he texted me while I was out, and I was like, all right, I'll come through. Since it's your birthday, it was his actual birthday.
How was it?
It was alright. I mean, he was drunk. He was totally drunk. And like trying to drive. And that's the part that I was like, nah. He was like, oh, I'm only going to my mom's house down the street, blah blah blah. I'm like, oh, alright, well, my line sister had picked me up, Diamond, the one he worked with. So we were like, we'll just follow you. Well, no, I said not follow you. I said, give me your car keys. I'm driving. Diamond will follow, you know, and take me from there. So we had to fight him for a little while to get the keys. And then, yeah. I'm not 100% sure that he did not leave